for Mother.
Hi everybody, I'm passere, and I'm going to be doing a breadcrumb glitch any percent run of Mother. I'll let my commentator introduce herself.
Hi everyone, I'm Crisptina.
All right. So time starts from power on of the console, so I'm just going to reset it, and that is going to be when time starts. So that'll be 3, 2, 1, go.
So Mother was originally released for Famicom in Japan in 1989. I saw some people talking in the chat and our recent donation about translation. It actually was localized to North America as Earthbound, but was never released. And then, years later, because of fans and support, it was eventually released for the Wii U on the Virtual Console as Earthbound Beginnings, and now it's also available on the Nintendo Switch Online. This breadcrumb glitch that is kind of the core of this run really only works on the Japanese version, so that's what passere will be running on today. Right now we're hearing about the story of kind of this couple, Maria and George, that went missing in 1900. Eventually George came back, and Maria was never seen again. Now it's the 1980s, and George is actually our great-great-grandfather, something like that. And weird things are starting to happen. Yeah, so we start off as Ninten, this little 12-year-old main character, and
I'm actually going
he's in his family home.
So I'm going for an RNG manip right there. It didn't happen that time, but should just be a matter of doing it one more time.
Yeah, this is a super RNG heavy route. It's highly technical, and it's really impressive what passere is able to pull off. So every single frame here on the character creation and character selection is actually advancing the RNG, and so it's very precise, and it starts right from the beginning.
Yes,
and so we're gonna get everything set up and get our characters off on the right values so that we're able to control many things way down the line in the run.
Yeah, so since we're going to have to watch this part again, I guess we can explain a little bit more about the RNG. As Crisptina said, time spent on menus advances the RNG. Also, if you're around NPCs that are moving, when they're moving, it's advancing the RNG to decide, what they're doing. And then also, if you take steps in encounter zones, it's also advancing the RNG, so let's get it right this time.
Absolutely. Got to start off on that precise value. And of course, there's lots of ways that we can, if we get too far ahead in the RNG or too behind, there are ways that we're able to accommodate for that, and we'll see some of those cool tricks. But it's good to start off on the right value at the very beginning. So yeah, right now we're being attacked by a lamp. Normal things that happen in your childhood bedroom. Basically, the story is that things are starting to get funky around this world. Weird things are happening. So, it's up to us, 12-year-old Ninten, to save the world, as sometimes happens in video games. Now we've just gone into our sister's bedroom, and her baby doll is now attacking us. So we're going to use some precise movements here. Again, every single frame that you can choose to select something, this includes, scrolling through this text that we're looking at right now, is advancing the RNG. So it's very precise selection. And if everything goes right, we're going to be able to take out the baby doll.
There we go.
Did we get it? Let's see.
I don't think it's quite right. That's okay. We can use a backup later.
Yeah, we'll be able to compensate.
So now we have to talk on the phone to our dad. He's going to tell us that clearly this is a poltergeist, and so the next logical step is to have Ninten find the great-grandfather's diary, since he investigated psychic powers, and use it to figure out what's happening. But we're going to skip that. So we don't actually need the great-grandfather's diary in this run. We're just going to head straight to town.
Yeah, and right now, passere is just walking out of an encounter zone, so every single step that's taken in an encounter zone is advancing RNG, so all of this movement is precise. Now we're into town, so get a little bit of break on the movement. But we're heading into town to set up the fundamental part of this run, which is breadcrumbs. And obviously, like most things in life, it is vitally important for us to get that bread. And I hope you all are donating so we can get that bread for the Malala Fund. Right now we're withdrawing some money so that we can buy our $30 loaf of bread. Inflation. Sometimes these things happen. So we're gonna get some money out of our bank card and go buy a $30 loaf of bread.
Now we just gotta save and quit for the RNG, because every time you reset the console, it does reset the RNG back to a known value. And now we're going to do RNG manipulation number 2.
RNG manip number 2. We are heading down to the graveyard. And
that was not the right RNG.
Yep. So what we were looking for there is, like passere said earlier, every single time that a character moves on the screen in the overworld area, that every single step is advancing the RNG value. And so what we're looking for right here as we're walking down is this little person on the left to walk up and then down, and that means we're on the right value. Awesome. Woohoo, we got it. And so now we're heading to the graveyard. The reason we're heading to the graveyard is that a little girl has gone missing from the town, Pippi. And if we had followed what the game wanted us to do, we would have talked to the mayor, and the mayor would have begged us, a 12-year-old child, to help find this other missing child. And the reason for that is, of course, because the mayor is worried about his re-election campaign, and he's worried about his odds of getting re-elected. And so he is convinced that if we are able to rescue this child, he will, for sure, get re-elected. All right, we just cleared through the first graveyard encounter zone. I was talking over that, but basically, this is an encounter zone where every single step we can take could potentially have us have a fight with someone like this little bat.
We're gonna do that one more time, because that was pretty early in the nip, so I think we can start from the beginning.
We can do it, for sure. So every single step that we take in these specified encounter zones can potentially have us encounter a fight. And there's all sorts of random fights that can take place. We can attacked by a stray dog. We can be attacked by a hippie. We can be attacked by
a crow,
a farmer.
Oh yeah, Wally the farmer.
And or in the graveyard, there's mummies and bats. And so what we're able to do is actually manipulate the RNG by our step count, as well as opening and closing the menu, because if you remember, every single frame that we're on a menu advances the RNG. And this way, we are able to avoid encounters and save time. And also keep in control of the RNG values that we want. We want to keep them in the places that we have control over.
Yeah, so basically I'm opening the menu at a time when I know I would encounter an enemy, and it skips over it in the list of RNG values. Missed it again. Okay, that's okay. We'll keep going.
We'll keep going, yeah.
So we're just gonna run from this enemy.
Yep, run away from some bats. We don't need the XP yet. We've got tricks up our sleeve for the XP later.
Unfortunately, this is 4 bats, so we have to wait for all the Mr. Bats to attack. They're called Mr. Bat in the English version. I hope that...
For sure. Might be a good time for a donation if we've got any.
Definitely.
For sure. Got $25 from Stokely Onfroy. Make sure to get some extra breadcrumbs to give to Silo Dog for later this week, and pick him up a few things from the general store. Good luck on the run, passere.
I was about to die,
Thanks so much.
I did reset that again there. We're gonna...
Third
time's the charm.
That's all right. Absolutely. These town folks are really not wanting us to be able to rescue this tiny child. All right, there we see the right step. That NPC is walking up and down as we want. And now we're going to head back into the encounter zone. So yeah, so that would have been an encounter, but Passere was able to open the menu and advance the RNG by value.
The crow can steal our bread, so it's actually really bad to encounter a crow by accident.
No! We must have all of our bread. The bread is the fundamental of this run. We gotta get that bread. And I hope everyone is donating to the Malala Fund. Getting that bread. I don't know. Is that meme too old? I don't care. I'm gonna keep saying it.
Even earlier this time? Wow, okay. I'm off my game here. That's okay. We're gonna run from the bat this time. It's going to work, and we will not get attacked by four Mr. Bats. Never mind. They really want to. Alright, let's try running again. Thank you.
Yeah! Got those little sound effects running away successfully. And
so this is where we're gonna find Pippi.
We've made it to Pippi! Very deep inside the graveyard. So Pippi is actually a really important part of this run. In addition to helping the mayor's re-election campaign, obviously vitally important to any individual member of the city, Pippi is going to do a couple things for us. First, she's going to be helping us set up our breadcrumb glitch, but also right now, after we rescue her, she's going to ask us a couple questions, and if we answer correctly, she will give us a very useful item called the Franklin Badge, which we will be using later. Fun fact, for those of you who are familiar with the Super Smash Bros. Series, you might have heard of the Franklin Badge, and you might be able to guess what it does or how it works. We're having lots of bats in the chat, and those darn bats for you.
Maybe they'll keep the bats away. If the bats are in the chat, they won't be in the game, right?
Absolutely. Yep. So we've rescued Pippi, and we're heading back to town to return her to the mayor. The mayor is also going to give us some cash, and what do we do with cash? We buy more bread. Nothing else to do. And here, after this part, it's a little bit harder to manipulate the RNG after the Pippi encounter. Passere actually worked on a lot of the tech here in order to get out of that first graveyard without any encounters at all, and that totally went off without a hitch, so great job to that, Passere. We were able to get through that first encounter zone, just had a little centipede that we were able to run away from. And nearly
so
out
close
of
to
the
the end of the
encounter
zone.
Almost
That's
out.
Okay. Centipedes can't steal our bread, so we're fine.
That's the important thing. I guess here we can start explaining what we're going to actually do with this wild bread. So,
yes.
Breadcrumbs work kind of like Hansel and Gretel in this game, where you can use bread to make breadcrumbs, and then you can make a breadcrumb trail that you can use to warp back to where you came from earlier in the game. And so it's a nice way to travel around. And so right here, Nintendo is going to give Pippi that bread that we bought earlier. And with it, Pippi's going to make some breadcrumbs. And those breadcrumbs have a specific value of a location that they are set. And we're going to do some funky things with that location in order to get out of bounds and completely break the game, because that's what we're here to do.
First,
People are
we
worried
give
about
Pippi to the mayor.
Yes. And the mayor will reward us handsomely with money, because this is really what it's all about. Local politics.
So we helped him with re-election. We risked our lives to go and save Pippi from the graveyard, and he gives us $100, which isn't even enough to buy 3 bread.
This is
4 bread. We get 3 bread for it. We don't even get 4 bread. Imagine, like, you go and save somebody from the graveyard, risk your entire life, and you get 3 loaves of bread.
I wonder if that might be hurting his re-election chances more than the missing child, honestly.
Yeah, what's going on in this town?
Things are fearsome, and only our 12-year-old Nintendo can help us. A fun fact here is that when you're trying to buy things from the shopkeepers, they often actually run away from you. And so luckily that shopkeeper stayed and talked to us while we were repeatedly buying things, because sometimes you can buy one item and then they will just run away.
Don't worry,
in the
there's
middle
still
of
a
the
chance for that
conversation.
to happen later.
Absolutely. All right, so we return Pippi to the mayor, and now we are going to go find her in Pippi's house. And she's
My
still.
HP is not high enough for a hippie.
I really don't understand why wild hippies are attacking us in town, but.
Alright, it was only 7. Or wait, no, did it not attack? Did I attack? No, I didn't attack.
There we go.
I don't know
We got
what to
out
say.
of
I
the
think the
hippie.
hippie hurt itself.
Okay, we're out of the encounter zone. We're gonna go back to Pippi, and she still had those breadcrumbs that we gave her earlier. And the problem is that those breadcrumbs' location for the start of the trail doesn't exist. And so when we try to use the breadcrumbs to go back, we are now in what we call a wild purgatory that shouldn't exist. It's pretty crazy. You can see the map is all sorts of messed up. Everything is in gray and white, and we are really not supposed to be here. So this is the fundamental of what breadcrumb glitch can do for us. Because that default value of the bread that Pippi had in her pockets wasn't set, we are able to just completely get out of bounds and run all over. So you can see there's just giant gaps of the game that are missing here, giant blank screens. The pieces don't fit together. It's kind of like a wild puzzle. And Passere actually has to navigate through this in a different way each time. Some of those pieces are all over the place. And now we're in this weird purgatory where we can actually warp to anywhere on the game that we want. Walk to anywhere in the game that we want. We can walk to, I think you said you were able to get to a part where you are actually in the like game over screen, right? You can just like walk
you
to the
can
game over.
warp to the game over screen because it's all contained in the map of the world. Like it's one map for the entire game.
Absolutely, yeah. And so we are just gonna walk straight to the end of the game. This is gonna take a little bit of time, so now would be a great time for some donations.
Sounds good. I've got $50 from Nuclear, $10 per bonk for my Ocarina of Time randomizer run, plus a little extra. Thank you everyone who makes these events possible. Let's get in these donations and meet all the incentives for both the Marathon and Malala Fund. Less than 3. Thanks. Don't forget when you guys are putting in your donations, we have some incentives going on. Got a few for the next run, Final Fantasy Legend 2, character name choice, choose the first party member and choose the second party member. Those bid wars are all open, so make sure you're putting your money towards incentives. We've also got $50 from Steffi Starlight. Thank you all for doing amazing work for a much needed cause. All the runners are amazing and the hosts, staff, tech, and social crews are really doing a fabulous job running the show. You all are truly an amazing group of people. Star emoji, heart emoji. Thank you, Steffi Starlight.
That's awesome. All right, so we were able to navigate to where we needed to go, and all of a sudden, voila, we are at the end of the game. That's Queen Mary. She's actually Mary that you might remember from George and Mary, who went missing 80 years ago, our great-great-grandmother. And, you know, when she was missing, she was just right there all along, and she's going to warp us to the end of the game. So here it is. We're right outside the final encounter, but we're not really ready to fight the final boss yet. We're level 2. So we're gonna death warp back home and use our breadcrumbs to come back to this end of the game. And oh, so sad. We have tragically died. It's okay, everything was planned. So now,
Definitely
at
on
this
purpose.
part, we are going to reset the console so that we can control that RNG again and perfectly control how we're going to get our levels for the end of the game. So you guys might remember I talked earlier about this little Franklin badge that Pippi gave us, and I gave a little hint that if you're familiar with it in Smash Bros, you might have an idea of what it does. So it actually reflects certain attacks back on the person that used the attack. So we've got these groups of starmen, and we've manipulated the RNG so that we always get the maximum number of people, which is 4 in the encounter, and they're always going to be exactly starmen, and they're always going to do exactly the moves that we want. In particular, it's PK Beam Gamma, which is a move that when they use it against us, our Franklin badge reflects it back on them and one-shots them, and we get all the XP. So we are just going to wipe through these starmen and get some awesome XP. Woohoo! You just completed 4 endgame enemies without lifting a finger.
At level 2.
At level 2. Level 2 Ninten. And here you can see we're getting all of these awesome stats. We're going to try to be getting as much HP as possible. This is part of the RNG manipulation as well, but it's not entirely within our control. And so we're going to hopefully get as much as we can. And again, each part of this, every time that you're seeing a click on the screen, is advancing the RNG. So this is really precise movement that passere is doing here. And
in this case, I'm just holding A, but it'll get more precise as we go through.
Yep. Starts out pretty easy. Someone just said in the chat, I just got here. Did they break the game? Yeah, I said
a little bit.
Just a little bit. It's all right. We were getting the bread. We got that bread and did what we needed to do. All right, so we are actually going to fight 4 groups of these 4 starmen and get up all the way to level, I think it's 19, level 18, I think, right? And so while we get going on that, if there's a couple more donations, feel free.
All right. Got a $25 from Tony Andonuts. I'm currently on my lunch break, but I couldn't miss this run. So glad to see a mother run this year. Good luck, passere.
Thank you.
Got $127 from Kelly. Greetings from Boise. Love the cause you're supporting today.
That's my brother. Yeah, so one thing really cool right here that you can see is actually, in order to advance the RNG while you're in an encounter like this, passere is holding A and B at the same time when she's supposed to be selecting a move. And what that does is it tries to back out of the slot.
Encounter, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, it tries to back out of the encounter at the same time, but then you can't do that, and then you're also pressing A to like make the selection. And so it kind of is like an empty move. It doesn't do anything, but it's able to advance the RNG. And so there's a precise number of times that needs to be clicked every single time. A certain number of beeps per starman in order to make sure that they are only doing that PK beam gamma that we can reflect back with the Franklin badge. Someone said, if it wasn't intended strats, then they should have programmed it better. Well, they did actually patch this out pretty quick, but, you know, so props to them. But we're going to keep playing the broken version because it's really cool.
Yeah, it's gone in the English localization.
Yeah, when they localized it. And this is also...
So they knew about it, I guess.
Yeah, so if you play it on the Switch Virtual Console, in English you can't, but in the Japanese Virtual Console for this one you can, right?
Yeah, and also there's a Game Boy Advance version of the game too that they released only in Japan. It's Mother 1+2. That one, if I understand it correctly, it's not that you can do breadcrumb glitch in the same way, but you can do breadcrumb glitch, so they like unfixed it somehow.
Oh man, you know, every time you try to fix one problem, you make a handful more, I'm sure. I'm seeing lots in the chat about, you know, you can't make breadcrumbs without breaking a little something. So. We've got our next encounter, if we've got some more donations.
I do indeed. Got $25 from John with no comment, but thank you, John, for that. Got another $25 from Chaz ML, also with no comment, but thank you for that. Got $10 from Carolyn Design. Thank you, everyone, for all your hard work supporting such a great cause. Thank you, Carolyn Design.
Yeah, that's great. We love to see it.
This is
All
where
right.
it gets more complicated because I have to hold it for some of them.
Mm-hmm. It's a combination of
Mash it
holding and
others.
mashing, right?
Yeah. Excuse me.
There
So
can
that's
also be the
good.
deceptive starmen in here after our third encounter, where it looks like it's a group of 4 starmen, but they're not the ones that we want. They're evil starmen that are going to put us in a bad situation. Hopefully we can avoid that.
That one was a really fast level up screen, so it took a while for us to encounter another. So, I mean, I'm only controlling... Wait. Let me not mess this up. I'm only controlling so much here, especially when it comes to mashing, it becomes less precise, and so that was just a really fast level up. Like, we didn't get a lot of things that we could have.
Yeah, so there's a lot that we're looking from out of these encounters that we can't totally control. We're going to want, so we'll automatically, like, what we're definitely going to do is get to level 18. That's going to be fine. But we want to get the right powers so that we can have our last fight go successfully. And then we also want to make sure that we can get as much HP as possible. And this is something that in a lot of these runs can be a run killer. If you wanted to do the world record run would have exactly the powers that you want right off the bat, tons of HP, and you're just ready to go. We're not really expecting that in a marathon situation. That's going to take lots of practice, lots of luck. And so hopefully we will get what we need. We've got a little bit of backups in place, things that make it completable. So if you're just learning this run, there are some ways to make it completable. Ooh, 11 HP on that one. Love to see that.
Oh, that's bad.
No.
So I got so many psi powers there that it might have pushed us too far. All right, I think we're good. These should be the right starmen.
Let's see if they're the evil starmen.
You have to hold it for 12 there, which is the longest out of any.
That's our longest one, is all 12. I wanted to make sure I didn't throw off the count there. All right. Yeah, so that's kind of a fun thing, is like the RNG, it's almost like elastic. It's like pushing and pulling. Like sometimes you get a bunch of psi powers and it pushes the RNG value forward. Sometimes you do a menu really fast and it goes back. And so it's able to be recovered a little bit, but it also means that not every run is perfectly predictable. So I think that makes a really good speed run. Someone in the comments said, just tuned in, we're already on the final dungeon. Yeah, we kind of just ran straight to the end of the game. We got out of bounds and just ran to the end of the game. So we skipped over most of the plot. But right now we're trying to get strong so that we can actually do the final fight.
Oh, no HP there. We have so many psi powers at least.
Ooh, that's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Maybe we won't have to do as many encounters.
I'll check how many we have when we, So we do another death warp here.
Yeah, so we're gonna... And I feel like sometimes this one makes you wait a while too. It's like, all you want to do is
either get it right away or you wait forever. Yep, but we're lucky. We didn't have to wait forever here.
Do I have time for another quick donation?
Yeah.
Awesome. Got a $50 from Wes. Love the Mother 1 run. Really cool to see you underflow some of these choices. Thanks, Wes.
So we have 118 HP, which is very good. Whoops, I am trying to withdraw cash. We are rich now.
So just like in real life, sometimes your money card just fills up with money once you start getting a lot of levels.
That would be so nice.
We just go to the bank account, all of a sudden we have thousands of dollars. So
each enemy actually gives you different amounts of money.
Yeah, right.
And so we just got a whole bunch from those starmen.
So we're gonna head home, and this is kind of what we're talking about, where in a perfect world, maybe with a super, super confident run, you might just go straight for the final fight here. But we're gonna be a little more careful. We're gonna clear out some of our room in our inventory by giving our items to our sister. She'll hold on to them for us. For example, your cash card that just got thousands and thousands of dollars on it, you're not allowed to just throw that out. And so we have to give it to our sister for safekeeping. So we're gonna do that and then load up with all the items we'll need for the final fight.
Let me check. We have everything that we need right now. We have all the powers.
Oh my goodness, we did it! This is it. So, at this point, we need a couple particular psi powers. And how psi powers work is that once you reach a certain level, and these encounters are actually intentional at this point, to try to make sure that we can get all the psi powers we have. So that's why we're not we're going to run through them, but that's why we're not using RNG manipulation to avoid encounters in this next couple bits. But
you're supposed to get them as you level up, but because we leveled up so much at once, we just we couldn't get them all. There's always a chance that you get them. And we gained too many levels. The game could not give them all to us at once.
Yes. And so it's like once you reach a certain level, there's a chance that you can get the psi power that you've unlocked at that level with each kind of encounter, each successful encounter that you have. And so sometimes you don't get all of them. Like we were saying, in a world record run, you'd have all of them right off the bat. And we lucked out here, but...
I actually did, but we still had to go back to talk to our sister because safety.
Yep, just to be safe for the marathon, but...
Now we go to the drugs guy.
Yes, so we're gonna load up on some life up creams, or potions, I think they are in... the translation's something like that. Just to make sure we have plenty of health for our run, or for our final fight.
Hey!
Did you use the Psi Stone already to get your PP?
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, so... yeah, I don't know what kind of shopkeeper... I guess he doesn't work on commission, because he's running away, while we're trying to buy things from him. He just likes to, wander around. But yeah, now
he's done with us.
We have filled up our inventory with our life up creams. We have got all of the side powers that we need, and we are ready to go for the final fight.
30 minutes in.
Yeah, 30 minutes into the game.
Ooh,
for those,
I don't need to reset here.
We're gonna reset, or yeah, okay. For photosensitive viewers, might want to look away.
Yes, there's flashing lights during this final fight.
And they've already started. Oops, meant to give them a little bit sooner. Sorry. Alright, so we're in the final fight against Geeg, the alien that has been making weird things all over town.
Yeah, so you've gotten no plot up to this point, but...
The Geeg, I think, was being raised by George and Maria. And,
real quick, though, this is an intentional reset here. I have to go first, or this does not work. So I have to keep resetting until I go first in this fight.
Yeah.
You can continue, sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, just want to make sure that we go first. Because otherwise, we're going to have a bad time. And it'll be, drawn out, but eventually we'll lose. So it's, not even that he'll just, one-shot us and it's game over. It's, we'll go through the whole fight, and then at the very end, it's just sad. Someone asked, final battle solo, question mark? Yeah, so there are other playable characters. Woohoo! We're first turn. There's other playables in the game, Pippi, I think, joins your group and stuff. I think there's 4 other ones. We're just avoiding all of them. This is a friendless route. Our only friend is bread.
Friendless.
Bread is all we need.
We have bread.
So first off, passere is gonna put up one of the moves we needed is Psi Shield, so that we take less damage. And then we're gonna use Quick Up so that we can go first as much as possible. It doesn't guarantee that we'll go first, but it's gonna make it much more likely that we're gonna be first for subsequent moves. So, spoiler alert. I mean, the game came out in 1989, so hopefully no one's too upset about spoilers. But essentially, you try to fight this alien Geeg, and you're not going to make much progress until eventually you realize that you need to sing a song that you've been collecting different parts of the songs throughout the entire game, and that actually reminds him of his childhood, and he kind of comes to the realization that maybe he should stop tormenting Earth. And that Queen Mary that we encountered earlier when we were running straight to the end, she gave us the last little piece of that song that we needed. And I guess the game doesn't really mind that we didn't learn all the other parts. But so right now we're trying to stall as long as possible until that sing option appears. And now we're able to start singing.
Except he realizes what we're doing and he stops us really quick.
He's like, stop it! I don't want to hear this song. And so over time, we'll keep singing more and more. But the main goal is to stay alive. So you can see kind of what we're watching here is that HP value is really the main thing. And Geek can do anywhere between...
Fingers crossed for this one.
Yeah, this is a close one. He can do anywhere between 29 and 47 damage. So he could have just killed us right there, and that could have been the end. But he was nice. And so we're just kind of going back and forth between healing, life up cream, and singing. And this is a lot of RNG that we can't totally control. It gets exciting at some points when you're like, oh, is this the risk I'm going to take? Is he going to be able to one-shot me here? But we've already survived once, so I say we keep pushing for it.
Let's see how much this is. How much HP are we left with? 39 at. I can't risk that.
Yeah, I don't think that's worth the risk. So part of the benefit of this route, with going back to our sister and giving her the card, is that we get a little more life up cream than maybe you might do if you were running a riskier version. So we have a couple little buffers where we can, maybe heal where we might not if we were really trying to go for a world record. And I see lots of singing in the chat. Oh, it's so nice.
39 again.
Oh boy. That's right on the cusp there too. Yeah, anything below 40 is definitely not worth the risk. 40 to 45 is pretty risky, but we were able to get out of one earlier. So we're trying to do 2 sings per life up cream is the goal here. We
have to sing 11 times.
Yeah, we need 11 sings, and I think life up cream gives us like 15 chances.
Yeah.
In a perfect world.
In a perfect world. 42?
Ooh boy.
Let's do it.
Oh! It's Frame Fatales! We gotta live on
Come
the
on,
edge.
Geek, cooperate. This is for charity.
Come on, Geek! Feel it in your heart! Everybody sing in the chat, sing in the donations.
Assuming I don't die, we can get some donations here. Alright, we didn't die.
Oh, yes! We didn't die! Alright, perfect time for some donations.
Alright, sounds good. Got a $5 donation from Carbon Knight. It says, choo choo! Thanks, Carbon Knight. Let's get that donation train going. Alright, I've got another $25 from Vinkara. Great marathon, great cause. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Vinkara.
So every time we sing, we do get a little bit further in it.
Yeah, you can
that
see
was
that
very nice. 53
Ooh,
HP
53,
left.
wow.
We're safe.
I mean, I'm looking at the chat. We're seeing lots of sings in the chat. I think Geek's heart is being warmed. Geek understands the importance of the Malala Fund. I think clearly it's the only explanation.
Obviously.
Do I have time for another quick donation?
Please.
Yeah.
Awesome. I've got $25 from Mom and Dad that says, go Bree!
Thank you. Okay. We're getting close. I think we have 3 more, if I have that right. So we should be good. We should survive this.
Let's do it, yes. I like the mom and dad donation coming in around the time that we're reminding Geek of his delightful childhood with George and Maria. Oh, we're seeing comments that are sing a melody of love. Yes, absolutely.
All right. Wow, Geek is actually being very, very nice. 55 HP this time. Chat, it's working. Chat, keep doing it.
I mean, I'm knocking on wood. I'm crossing my fingers, but this is one of the best I've seen for sure.
It's Don't say that, because now it's going to be really messed up. So the way that this could die instantly, and I will say, like, I have save states and stuff so that we can continue the run, but, like, the way that this could die instantly is if Geeg goes first. There's just nothing I can do against that.
Yeah. Which, you know, you do the quick up so that there's a very, very small chance of that happening, but...
I don't necessarily need this heal. I'm going to do it just again for safety. We could just do the last sing, but I don't want to die. Right at the end. This should be the last sing.
We'll listen to the whole song.
Here we go. That's the whole thing. That's the song of Geeg's childhood. And
no, time doesn't stop yet, right?
Time. I'll call time here. I will say, technically the leaderboard does include the entire credits, but that's 3 minutes and 40 seconds, so add 3 minutes and 40 seconds to my time if you want to compare it to the leaderboard. But we defeated Geeg, so that's what's important here.
Absolutely. The power of bread. Absolutely.
That's how you beat Mother in 40 minutes, with the power of bread. All right, so this is the credits. What happens is that as the credits scroll, you get the nice 8 melodies song. This is the song that we learned the whole time. You get the whole song to play. Ninten stares at you awkwardly the whole time. But what happens is afterwards, you have to press a single button. And so that single button means we have to watch the whole credits technically. But that's okay. That's not super fun for us to do right now. So, like I said, add 3 minutes and 40 seconds. But I want to say thank you so much for letting me show off this run. It's a really cool run. It is really unexpected too, and I'm really excited that I got to show off some of these glitches here. If you're interested in learning this, we have a really great guide that the terrific Tracy made for learning this run, and of course we'd always be really happy to help you with it. And if you want to catch more of these types of speedruns, I stream on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/passere, but I'm also going to be back later this week with another retro game, 102 Dalmatians, so check out more of that. And then Crisptina, would you like to end with anything?
Yeah, I think I just want to say thanks to Passere for having me, and thanks to everyone that's helping organize this event. I think it's a really fantastic cause. I have loved watching speedruns for a long time, and Passere and Bandit Yoshi were the ones that kind of said, you could do this, like just pick up a game and start learning it. And so I've mostly been running Stardew Valley, which was featured a couple days ago. I hope everyone was able to see that. If you're interested in that, we have a great chat over there. Thanks to everyone who supported me there. I really encourage everyone who's enjoyed watching these runs to just pick a game that you like and pick it up and start running it. It's a lot easier and less intimidating once you get going. So, thanks to you all. Thanks to the event runners, and that's it for me.
Thank you so much.
Congrats on the great run, Passere. Alright, we've got $50 from Sugar Frosted. Pass roll, go Bree. Sad Goggles couldn't make it. Also got $50 from Dr. Spaceman. Let's PK fire it up for Malala Fund and FF, a great event for a great cause. Got $150 from Nick. Great runs, great cause. Thanks, everybody. Got $25 from Emmys with no comment. Thank you for that. And now we're going to go to a quick break. Welcome back to Flame Fatales 2022, supporting Malala Fund. Don't forget when you put in your donations, we've got some awesome incentives going on right now. We've got a few bid wars that are going to be closing up in just a minute for Final Fantasy Legend 2 about character name and some of the different party members. So make sure you're selecting those when you put in your donations. And with that, we're going to go hear from Malala Fund.
My baby, she is a ballet dancer. I take her today to the ballet. My name is Hiba Hamzi. I'm a Malala Fund Gulmakai champion and I'm a program coordinator at NABA, Lebanese organization. I believe that education is very important for girls. I have a daughter, she is 4 years old.
Hey, her head!
What are you eating, Haya? Are you happy? Say good morning, Haya.
Good morning.
I came to educate her because I believe that education can protect her from different kind of abuse. I believe that if she is well educated, she will enhance her self-esteem. She will be economically independent in the future and she will grow up in a safe and protected environment. I started with NABA as an administrator and while I'm working, I decided to continue my university. We have different offices and programs. We have here our program office, here the finance office. Along the years working with NABA, I joined different workshops related to how to empower women, how to communicate with the adolescent girls, protection, child protection, prevention of child marriage, gender-based violence, in addition to other administrative training. Jointly with Malala Fund, we are working and striving to achieve our two main goals. All girls are continue their secondary education and all girls get married over 18 years old. Our partnership with Malala, we are very proud of it as this is an advance for us to achieve our goals, objectives and ambitions. We are working in south, north and around all over Lebanon. We target the youth, the children, the adolescents and for sure the adolescent girls. It's about awareness campaign. ثانوية it means secondary school. ثانوية للبنات ولا للصبيان؟ للبنات. For girls. You don't have secondary school here? ما عندكم مدرسة ثانوية؟ No, they don't have secondary school. Education is very important for girls. Education let the girls have a better choices in their life.
B, C, D, E, F, G.
Welcome back to Flame Fatales 2022. Got a couple of donations for you here while they finish setting up. We've got $5 from JL O'Ronnell with no comment, but thank you for that. We've also got $15 from Anonymous with no comment. Thank you for that. Every little bit helps. And now I'm going to pass you over to Leggy Starscream for Final Fantasy Legend 2, glitchless, no hard resets.